Hello everyone. In this video, we will see the measurement of liquid level. The measurement of liquid level. So where do we find the measurement of level of a liquid? See here, we have some important points here. First point, if the boiler has to be fed constantly with water, the level of water in the feed tank attached to the boiler is to be monitored continuously. The first point here it is in industrial purpose. If you are having boilers, so in that boiler we need to the function of a boiler is to convert the liquid form of a fluid into the vapor form. In order to supply a continuous vapor, continuous steam of its own kind with a specified pressure, the boiler must be maintained with some standard value of level of fluid, that can be water or any other pure substance. For that purpose, we require to measure the liquid level. Second point, the discharge of liquid from the opening of a tank depends on the level of liquid in the tank. Thus, by noting the level of liquid in the tank, the discharge can be calculated. The discharge of the liquid from the opening of the tank depends on the level of the liquid. Here, he says that so you will be having the opening to the tank, and from the tank the liquid will be coming out. So the discharge value, the amount of discharge value, is also depends upon the level of the tank. If greater the level of the tank, greater will be the head. When greater will be the head, then the pressure exerted at the bottom or the opening of the tank will be high. So that will also indicate the discharge. That will also require to measure the level of a tank to in order to get the proper discharge of the liquid from the tank. Next, the pressure at various places in a tank or container depends on liquid level. Pressure at various places in the tank or a container depends on liquid level. So the pressure is to be determined in order to design liquid holding containers or tanks. So this pressure is to be determined in order to design the pressures to be determined in order to design the liquid which is holding these containers. Means we are preparing, for example, we are having a water tank. So, if we, without knowing the level of the water tank, we cannot easily design the tank, because depending on the level of the water, we will the pressure exerted will be different. So, for higher pressure values, the tank design may be different. For lower values, it is different. Next, the distribution tanks for supplying drinking water, the level is to be determined to enable proper distribution of the water. Simple. We are saving water in the tanks for the distribution of the water for household purpose. In that case, uh, when if we don't know the proper level of the water, we cannot distribute the water for the people in time, for in time supply of the water or the liquid. So we do we should know about the level of the liquid in that container. Hence, that is why the study of this liquid level is required. That there must be some instruments or the measuring methods to check the levels of water. Now, what is a liquid level? Here, a small definition is given. Liquid level means the height of liquid from a reference datum. If we take a tank, water tank, we will be having four pillars. On that, will be having a tank. So the level means the ground level. From the datum means it is from the ground. What is the level of water that is in that tank? So So that is what is in general meaning for a liquid level. Now coming to their types, classification, and measuring instruments that we will see, operations, advantages, if any limitations are there, that we will see in this video. So coming to the different methods or the devices that are used for measuring liquid levels. Here we have direct measurement device, indirect measurement devices, and electrical liquid level sensors. So in direct measurement devices, we are having different types of slide glass, float gauges. So float type liquid level gauges, float shaft liquid level gauges. In indirect measurement method, in measurement devices, we are having hydrostatic pressure devices. Then we have A and B types. The first type, it is hydrostatic pressure devices for open tanks and hydrostatic pressure devices for closed tanks. And the last category, last type here, it is electric liquid level sensors, rheostat operated by a float, capacitive liquid level sensor, gamma ray liquid level sensor. So these are the types here. Basically, we are having the direct measurement methods and indirect measuring devices. Apart from this, we are having this capacitive liquid level sensor. So in electrical liquid level sensor, we need to check according to our syllabus, and we should move on. Now coming to uh, the first type, that is direct measurement devices. That is slide glass, first type. Slide glass means you are having here the principle involved here. It is very simple, just our naked eye observation. That's it. When a liquid is flowing through a tank, when it is a tank is filled in a liquid through a liquid, um, we have here, according to the construction, we are having this connecting tube here. You have this liquid level calibrated scale. We are having a liquid level calibrated scale, and transparent glass tube we are having. This is a transparent glass tube, and this is liquid level H. Okay, of course, that will come under operation. So this is what a simple tank is there, and you are having a transparent glass tube. So the liquid level here is represented over this glass tube. When this tank is filled with a liquid, and by using a pump or a motor, when it is coming into this tank, so that liquid will also enter into this scale. As the level here it increases, here also the level in this also will increase. If the level decrease here, and the level in this scale, in this transparent tube, glass tube, will also decrease. So, and here side by we will be having some readings here, that is liquid level calibrated scale. We call it as a liquid level calibrated scale, and this is what is our slide glass. And the advantages here we have is the device can be used to measure levels of both clean and colored liquids. Whether it can be a colored liquid or a clean liquid, we can find for both the level of that liquid. Next, this device is simple and cheap. This is very cheap because uh, the what is the instrument? Only a transparent glass tube is the instrument is we are having. That's it. Only thing is tank. It is already present in order to find the level of the tank. So we require a glass tube, that's it. For, but it is not applied for a very bigger size tank. For a smaller tanks only we can use this. Now coming to the limitations, this device is not suitable for corrosive liquids. If the liquids are corrosive, so this the transparent tube may get damaged, corrosion takes place. So for the type of material liquids, we cannot use this. Next, this device cannot be used for viscous liquids, viscous liquids and which do not rise easily in the transparent glass tube. If you are having very highly viscous fluids, so those fluids will not rise easily in this transparent glass tube. So, so as a result, we cannot use this one. So if it is a highly viscous fluid, the viscosity is the resistance to flow. So in the glass tube, it will not rise because of their nature. Their viscosity is high. Their resistance to move, it will not move easily in this glass tube. And moreover, this glass tube cross section may also be less compared with that of this tank. So in the tank, the liquid level may be high, and in this glass tube, the level may be low, or it can be vice versa. Depends upon the viscosity of the fluid. Next, coming to the next type, in direct method, we are having float gauges, that is buoyancy methods, float type liquid level gauges, float shaft liquid level gauges. So by using a buoyancy method, you are having, what do you mean by buoyancy? Buoyancy is nothing but it is the floating nature, or in general the amount of liquid displaced when we use a float on a liquid is equals to its mass or its weight. That's buoyancy. So by using that principle, the capacity of of a material to float over a given fluid, that is uh, buoyancy method. In this method, float type liquid float type liquid level gauge. In this type, we are having only you have a float here, you have a pulley. To the pulley, you have a pointer. Based on this, you have a counter balance level calibrated scale tank liquid. And so in float type liquid level gauge, we use a float here. So when so this is the arrangement, and the setup will be like this only for open tanks. So when float is kept freely in this tank, so it must be balanced with some counterbalance, that is counterbalance weight. So it must be balanced with a weight, and we call it as a counterbalance weight. If you don't have this weight, this will easily flow, but you won't find any readings over here. It means this downward force, this downward weight, weight is in downward direction. Here is must be equated with the upward pressure force here. So in that case, means the tension in the strings must be same. Then only we will find zero moment, and the moment do exist because of the change in the level of the tank. If the tank level is increasing, this float will also move in upward direction because the pressure here will be increasing. As a result, tension in this string will be higher compared with this. So this will move in downward direction, and this will move in upward direction. And when it is coming down, the pointer will also move according to the relation shown here, and based on this pointer movement, we can come to a conclusion that the level of tank, and it is calibrated for the level of the, that is fluid that is present in the tank. So coming to the main parts and the description, here we have a tank containing the fluid whose liquid level is to be measured. Next, a pulley. You're having a pulley and a pointer. The pointer directly fitted to the shaft and the pulley. and the liquid level is calibrated over this scale. The liquid level is calibrated over the scale. And coming to its some important note is given here. The density of the float material should be lower than that of the density of the material which is supporting it. Obviously, because that is why we call this as a float. If the density is high compared with that of the supporting balance, what it will do? So this will remain in water itself. It will not move. If these two weights are same, it will not move. So for that purpose, the density should be less. That's why we call it as float. And the next type, we enter into the other type. Here, coming to advantages, it is very simple in the construction, but only limitation here we have here is we cannot use this for bigger tanks. For smaller tanks only, we can use this. Now, coming to the next type of float shaft liquid level gauge. Float shaft liquid level gauge. In direct method, we are having one more type in buoyancy type level indicating instruments. It is floating shaft uh, liquid level gauge. Here we have, coming to its description, again the principle is same, buoyancy principle. Because of the weight differences, density differences, this will move up. So it will float. This float will float in the liquid. Now, coming to the parts here, we have a tank. Liquid float is attached to a shaft, and a rotating shaft is here. So this pointer, this is a pointer, and this will move according to the level of liquid here. If the liquid level is increasing, this float will move either to the left or to the right. We will find this is a null position. From this null position, we will find the readings over the scale, this calibrated level calibrated scale. If it is moving to the left or right, it means that the level in the tank is increasing. So this is also very simple in construction, but it is not suitable or suggestible for bigger tanks, larger tanks. But coming to the applications, this gauge can be used both in closed and open tanks to measure liquid levels. So this is an example for closed tank. So for liquid tanks, for open tanks, can also be used this one. So, but you need to hang this in a proper with proper materials. So this gauge can be used to measure levels of liquids and semi-liquids also. Semi-liquids can also be the level of semi-liquids can also be determined by using this gauge. Coming to the next type, in indirect method, we are going to use hydrostatic law. In indirect method, we will use a law called as a famous law from FMHM, the fluid mechanics, that is hydrostatic law. What do you mean by hydrostatic law? The pressure inside a tank at a level down the surface is directly proportional to the head of the level of liquid in the tank. So pressure, suppose if I want pressure at this level, the zero line, if I want the pressure at the zero line, pressure is directly proportional to head of the liquid. But all liquids do not have the same density. Their densities are different. So density of water is different from that of the petrol. Density of petrol is different from the kerosene, and density of mercury is different, or alcohols is different. So for different uh, liquids, we cannot give the same. It is proportional, that's it, but the proportionality constant is different here. Yeah, it is that will vary. The That is the main cause to find out the pressure. Here, pressure is directly proportional to H, say, and pressure gauge, in pressure gauge also. So whatever the reading is indicated here, pressure is directly proportional to the head, and this proportionality constant is nothing but weight density. Pressure is equals to W into H. Based on that principle, we almost in coming topics we use this principle to check whether the head is level of the tank is on, is directly level of the tank is determined by using that. So first of all, we will find out the pressures. That's it. Find the pressure, and that pressure is proportional to the head. See here, this is a simple description. We are having a tank here. It is filled with a liquid, and this liquid is attached with a pressure gauge, and this pressure gauge will determine what is the pressure inside this tank. This is say it is a zero line here. This is head of the liquid. So if this is the head of the liquid at this particular point, what is the pressure? Pressure is equals to W into H, weight density into H. So it is directly proportional to the head of the water or liquid level in the tank. So if this liquid level is decreasing, here the pressure shown here also will decrease. If it is increasing, if the liquid level H is increasing, the pressure shown here will also increase. So based on this, we will find the liquid level in the tanks. Now we will see the first type, that is hydrostatic pressure devices for open tanks. Whether it is a closed tank, an open tank, we need to determine the pressure, and that pressure is proportional to H by using hydrostatic law, because of hydrostatic law. Now pressure is calculated like this. In this case, we are having a hydrostatic pressure device for open tanks. This device consists of an airflow meter with a pressure regulator. So slowly pressure regulator, and we have a bubbler tube for passage of air, and there's a tank. Initially you have a tank and we have a liquid supply, and this is a pressure gauge. Pressure gauge, we have a liquid here, and this is a tank, and this is a air transferring tube with a pressure it has to enter in. Now coming to it, this is a description of the equipment. The basic principle here is the pressure recorded is directly proportional to head of the liquid that is present in the tank. That is the basic principle. Coming to the instrument, initially we have we have a tank there, and we just kept the instrument there. We have inserted that bubbler tube inside the tank. Now we are supplying that tube with air. Now with the help of airflow, with some compressor, we are slowly, a pressure regulator, we are slowly allowing the air into it. So we should allow the air through these passages such that the air is moving in downward direction it will not, then you should increase the pressure at the compressor, increase the pressure, increase the pressure, increase the pressure, such that this air will start coming through this bubbler tube from the bottom. Slowly the bubbles should come out. It should not come fastly. They should come slowly, such that the pressure exerted by this air is equal to the pressure of the tank at this point, and which is recorded at pressure gauge. So when this pressure gauge is records the pressure, that will be a proportional value with the head, this level, because we are finding the pressure at this point. So because as the air is coming out of this point, so because it is not moving further in downward direction, it is coming from this point out. So the pressure recorded inside this tube will be equal to the pressure exerted by the liquid at this point, at this level. So that is what, again, we are using hydrostatic method, hydrostatic law, to find out what is the head of the uh, liquid. So head is nothing but level of the tank here. Now this is in open tank. So this is what happens in the case of open tank. Now we are having a closed tank also, but coming to some of the important note in the case, the commonly used transmitting fluids in hydrostatic pressure devices as are air and nitrogen. So this supply here, it is air, either air or it is a nitrogen. And so if this liquid is flammable, we cannot use, like oxygen we cannot use. We cannot use the gases which are inflammable. So we cannot use such a gases. So inert gases type substances you should take. And one more point, in case of measuring the liquid levels of slurries and hot viscous liquids, some kind of liquid can be used as transmitting fluid in place of air or nitrogen. We should use some other liquid instead of uh, air or nitrogen. In the case of slurries and highly viscous liquids, we should use some other liquid, and in the relation to that, this will be calibrated. This pressure gauge will be calibrated.